Good morning. My name is Zui Tran. I am a MBA student from Louisiana State University in Shreveport. This is my project regarding the Paris market study for Marketing 720. So my research is done about the hotels industry in Paris itself. The presentation will go over Paris map and statistic, general makeup of the market, current statistic, trend data, market breakdown, and I'll summarize everything at the end. Paris is known as the City of Light. Paris is the capital of France. There are approximately 2.2 million people living in Paris. Some popular destinations in Paris are, of course, there's the Eiffel Tower, Montreux, Champs-Élysées, Louvre. I apologize for saying some of these names wrong. The Eiffel Tower, some interesting facts about Paris. The Eiffel Tower is actually the tallest building in Paris, and Paris itself is 105 kilometers square mile. Paris is known for having is known for having beauty, elegant, and boldly romantic city. The French capital is known as the City of Light. Eiffel Tower is one of the seven marvels of the world, and people all over the world know of Paris, France. Breaking up the market itself, the market makeup of Paris, there are a couple of sub-markets. There are Champs-Élysées, Opéra Montreux, there's Paris Central, Bastille, Batilos, Rialto East, and River Gange. Again, my apology for pronunciation. So the most popular the most popular submarket is the River Gange. There are approximately 7,000 rooms, followed by River Troy East, and the least area with the least amount of rooms is Paris Central with around 3,990 rooms. Paris is broken down by class as well. We have from luxury class all the way down to economy class. For luxury class, there are around 4,625 room. Upper scale up is around 9,600. Upper scale is about 7,700. And for the economy class, the lowest class that we have samples wise is about 726. So most of the hotel room in Paris are considered middle or above class. So because Paris is it's a destination travel for a lot of people. Most people make it a lifetime to visit Paris. So there's a lot of brand name hotel in Paris. There's the Four Seasons, the Ritz Carlton. There's also some boutique hotel as well, like Sri Lanka Paris. That's one of the best hotel we have available. Going over some key statistics. Paris is suffering some changes due to the pandemic, like everybody else around the world. The occupancy rate usually for all the hotel room in Paris is around 75%. The average daily rate is around 273.93 euros, and RevPAR is around 204.34. Those all declining from last year's statistic. For example, the RevPAR was down 16% from last year. So they're going through some changes, and it's helping. And because the pandemic is not helping with the way people travel anymore, so the lack of patron has caused the occupancy, ADR, and the RevPAR to go down. So looking at the supply, demand, and revenue during the trended data, 2011 was a good revenue year for the hotels in Paris. It was around almost 15 million. The worst year was in 2016. It's negative 1.5, and the city has so if there's actual people staying in the hotel, average daily rate would be affected by how much the hotel charged for those rooms. Next, I'm going to go over the market breakdown of the Paris. So, looking at the recent year and the supply, demand, and percentage changes, The biggest difference is the River Gauche. The submarket of Paris has largely changed in the demand percentage. Uh, People are just not demanding hotel in that area anymore. While the River Droit East is a constant submarket winner. It has a lot of upper and mid upper hotel, which is it's a destination for a lot of people. It's not too expensive, and you still get the luxury experience of Paris. Looking at the submarket and occupancy and ADR percentage change of the city of Paris, um, overall, the city is suffering. There's a negative occupancy percentage, and the ADR is down as well. So if nobody is staying at the hotel, most operator will want to lower the cost, lower the ADR to attract more customer, but that's still not drawing enough of the occupancy. River Droit East continues to be the strongest submarket in the area, again because it has the most eclectic type of hotels, giving more people a lot of choices what they can do for their hotel stays. ADR and occupancy is always a positive correlation. If the prices of the room are cheaper, statistically more people tend to stay at cheaper hotel, more affordable hotel. So the area of Champs-Élysées has the highest ADR across all submarket. Champs-Élysées is of course a very upscale area of Paris, and more people want to have that experience of being in Paris, being in a magical place. So when you break down about the class of the hotels in Paris, the luxury hotel has a great demand compared to supply. Luxury hotels are considered top of the line hotel, and they always book. They usually have the best location right next to Eiffel Tower, right next to the Louvre. So the hotel demand is always high for luxury demand, while the supplies are not as high because it takes a long time to build a hotel and classify it as luxury. So the need for luxury hotels is needed in Paris. Mid-scale class are up and coming. They require a lot of that. And the middle tier class are a mix in demand as well. So looking overall about the classes and occupancy and average daily rate, um, the hotels in Paris are suffering and having a negative relationship. Not enough people are staying in a hotel in Paris, and the ADR are lower because of it. Well, luxury class has a highest negative in the ADR. So they charge too much, so a lot of people not allowed to stay in there. Yeah, so looking at another chart, it's a further breakdown of what the actual occupancy and ADRs are. Wow, everybody is very similar except for the large scale luxury hotel in Paris. The drop off dramatically happened in 2016. So across the board, everything was rising from 2010 up to 2015, but then 2016 started the lowest, seeing the lowest decline in weekend and weekdays. So occupancy and ADR goes together. So typically when there's no one occupying a hotel room, the ADR typically changes as well. So you can see that the 2016 again was the worst year, but comparing ADR from the weekday to weekend, there's not much of an alteration. A day of the week, typically looking at the chart in Paris, Wednesday is actually the most occupied day. Most people check out of the weekend on Monday or Tuesday, and then business travel check in on Wednesday. So from looking at the chart, Wednesday is the highest day of occupancy. Looking at the data from the actual ADR day of the week, prices has gone up since 2017. Steady gone up. Around 2017, it's around $195, 195 euro per night. In 2018, it's around 215. And in 2019, it peaked around 221. So with Tuesday having the most expensive day across the board as far as average daily rate room are concerned. There's a lot of ebbs and flow with the Paris occupancy. Historically, as I said before, 2011 to 2016, we see an uptick in the occupancy and average daily rate. But 2016 is the year we saw the biggest decline, and then it started to rebound again in 2018 and 2019. The data for 2020 and 21 is not quite available yet. I'm sure it's going to show a negative effect due to the COVID pandemic. There's a lot of group and transient demand mix as far as hotel room occupancy. So the group demand has a 2-year decline from 2013 to 2015, while the the transient mix has gone up. Now, transient is for people who stay less than 10 days within the hotel room. The prices for the transient group and the transient and the group shows more responsive transient year. So it kind of is a positive correlation. If the prices for the group discount goes up, the transient group go up as well. So they kind of mirror each other. There's a greater correlation. There's a greater difference between the discount between one group versus the other, but they do move together. There is a lot of changes in Paris right now. A majority of hotels that's being built are independent hotel. Independent hotel are hotels that are not part of a chain, not part of Hilton, and not part of the Ritz Carlton, not part of Sheraton, those type of big group. So independent hotels are rapidly growing over the past 5 years. The lowest hotel class that's growing is actually economy class. There's a lot of room that's existing due to the pipeline being built within Paris. Um, there are additionally 2,800 available room in Paris Future. There's a lot of pipeline going on. Most of, like I said before, most of the new build are independent hotel, which that has the most effect over the market as well. The phases of development in Paris varies. Majority of the Paris development right now are actually in construction, so it's actually being built as we speak. So the amount of rooms are upcoming is going to be built, and there's a strong planning phase as well within the Paris hotel industry. So either things are being planned or things are being built already. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation today. I'm going to give a brief summary of what's going on in Paris. Paris is divided into 5 submarkets. Has multiple categories within submarket. Paris will always be a destination for travelers around the world. It's known as the City of Light, and there are approximately 33,000 rooms available in Paris at any time. So Paris will always be a destination city, as I said before. The romance, the history, the art of Paris will always draw people to Paris. Um, Paris does extremely well compared to the other large metropolitan destinations around the world before the economic downturn in the pandemic. What will happen in the future, we're not quite sure yet because it's not quite readily available. It's still developing. But if any city has the chance to emerge from this pandemic, it would be Paris. So looking ahead for Paris, there's a strong pipeline being built in Paris already. Hotels are being constructed. People are discussing the planning and the execution of new hotel. So there's not really a concern about the demand or the supply of hotel. The supply will always be there. Whether the traveler go to Paris or not to stay at those hotels, that's the bigger concern at this point. So something for the future in Paris. Paris again will always be a destination city. As long as Paris and Parisian keep the history and the culture alive within Paris, will always be a destination. The hotel industry is viable, is strong in Paris, and it will help Paris maintain the world destination place that it is. Thank you so much for your attention today.